Welcome in, everybody, to another new edition of TigerMark Takes with your co-host, Mr. Kenneth Mitchell. I don't even have to ask how you doing this afternoon. Yeah.
Oh man, doing mighty good, man. How about those Tigers, man?
How about it, man? How about it, man? LSU goes into the other Death Valley and comes out
Yeah,
comes out with a 17-10 win, comeback fashion, trailing at halftime, kind of down, but never were we ever out.
perseverance,
What you think?
perseverance. Yeah,
On the
yeah,
crowd,
man.
on the road, hostile environment,
Hmm.
crowd going crazy, and we told them take that top lip, put it with that bottom lip, and shut your mouth. Hey,
Exactly, man.
what were your
Huh?
thoughts, man? What were your thoughts? What were your thoughts?
Oh man, I thought LSU it was a hard fought game, which I expected.
Right.
But I predicted also that LSU would come back, and win the game. Um, I knew it would be hard fought. Um, but they persevered. Through that whatever adversity they had, they know how to bounce back from that by persevering and just staying, calm through the whole situation. Playing their game. The defense, pretty much set the tone, like I pretty much said. Even though it didn't go as I predicted in
Right.
terms of from the kickoff perspective, but um, the defense still managed to set the tone. Um, Although I would say the offense, you know, have done
Yeah.
enough to do what they're needed
Yeah.
in terms of points. I have to
Yeah.
admit they were a bit sloppy in their gameplay,
Right.
um, but they persevered through that. And then the defense, man, was unbelievable. Was dominant. I mean, when did you was the last time that you can remember seeing a defense this dominant that LSU ever
This
displayed, man?
this early. Man,
Yeah.
listen. I went on a lot of people podcasts and nobody wanted to bring it up. And that offensive line had been questioned the whole fall count. Now we realize what the offensive line was going through for everybody to be saying they thought we would be suspect or maybe weak at the offensive
Hmm.
line. Man,
Right.
imagine going against that defensive line in practice, week in and week out, moving forward and in fall count.
Oh man, teams better watch out, man, because I mean this team is different on both sides of the ball. I mean, especially on the defensive side. I mean, pick your poison, whether it be from the defensive line, whether it be from the linebackers or the secondary. I mean, the cornerbacks to the safeties, man. I mean, we are loaded,
Listen,
So I mean, um, the offense has to get it together. They have to go back to the drawing board and mess up whatever the sloppiness that pertained, in the game last night. But I'm quite sure, and I feel confident enough that they'll overcome that. They get that worked out and rectified, and the offense will be with Gus Garrett Nussmeier, in the fold. I mean, will be better. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of just keep working out the kinks, and
man,
we'll be fine.
we had opening game hiccups, if you want to say, and
Hmm.
that was to be expected from game one. End of the day, we got the job done where pretty much everybody doubted us.
Yes.
Now, normally me, I would have overreacted during the very first drive. But for some reason, I knew in the back of my mind, without a doubt, we were going to get this game one victory.
Right.
Shut the fans up, come back to Baton Rouge, and prepare for a Louisiana Tech team. End of the day,
Yes.
man, it was a must win. People say it wasn't, but this was a must win for this team moving forward. Season one, morale wise, tempo
Right.
wise, we set the
Right.
tone. Now the sky is the limit. I
Yes,
don't want
it
to jump
is.
too far ahead and saying national champions, but at the end of the day, You cannot take away what we accomplished on yesterday.
We did. I mean, you can't. And it's you said it, that this sets the tone for the rest of the season. You know how it can come about. You know what I'm saying? And we can say that confidently, knowing that the kind of team that we have on both sides of the ball and even special teams, we're that deeply talented overall as a team. I mean, so
Sure.
um, I mean, we get ready for Louisiana Tech, and then after
Right.
that, we got Florida at home. So
Right.
but
I'm
I
not.
really
Go ahead. Go ahead.
good. I mean,
I'm.
I'm not overly concerned about how, and I'm not trying to take nothing away from any other team within the season here by saying this, but
Right.
um, I, I mean, at this point, the concerns that you have, I mean, they're worked out, and I also said that in the
And they are
last show.
fixable. The concerns are
Yeah,
fixable.
right. And the offensive line actually played great. Garrett Nussmeier only sacked once in the
Right.
game last night. You know what I'm saying? And they actually ran the ball, I believe, 31 or 36 times or something like that, and still had over 100 and something yards. 100, I believe, 120 yards
Right.
as a team in rushing.
Right.
So I mean, that's unbelievable. And the way how they mixed everything up within, offensively wise with the packages they implemented, with Jawan Johnson, Xavier Thomas coming out the backfield, getting some carries. Hey, I like that offensive display. It was pretty good.
I love the fact that we didn't. I was a little bit concerned about the offensive line as far as a lot of false starts and movement and stuff. But man, I'm pretty proud to say we held our own. You know, LSU.
Exactly.
LSU. Listen, LSU pretty much dominated this game all the way from time of possession to first down differential. You know,
Yes, they
it
did.
it and I don't like to talk about this very much, but as far as the refereeing, man, the officiating, it
Oh
was
my goodness.
horrible. We were up against that,
Very
and to
horrible
say
in this
to,
game.
to say that was the SEC officiating crew they brought along, hell, they could have kept them back in SEC country and gave us some ACC officials. You know,
Exactly.
that
Yeah,
was
they were
horrible.
better off that way. Yeah.
There's no way Barry and Brown touchdown call is not called a touchdown.
Exactly.
Possession, he hits the pylon, moving forward, goes falls down. They say the ball moves, but at the end of the day, it didn't determine the outcome. What was meant to happen happened, and guess what? You know what time it is, right?
Right.
So, how about my predictions yesterday, man? Like my brother called me, asked me, "Did I have a crystal ball?" I said, "No, man. I was just high on these guys, man. I got to
Right.
see them practice, and I knew what they had to put on the field. It was
Hmm.
just a matter of them gelling and playing as one.
Right.
One team. Orgeron used to say one team. What?
One heartbeat.
Okay, that's what we got. That's what we got. And I cannot stress enough about the. I give the D line a lot of credit. Nice game. Set the tone.
They did.
Defensive line wreaked havoc all night. But what about that secondary? And the guy, my guy, Mansour Delane, who I picked to have INT return for a touchdown. I didn't get the touchdown, but I definitely got the INT. What think about him?
Exactly. Yeah. You were right. I mean, man saw the lane was unbelievable in this game. I mean, this guy was sticky. This defense, whoever he was manned up against, they couldn't get past him. He was on him like glue. Through, through in and out. You couldn't get away from him. You know what I'm saying? He played unbelievable coverage, on his behalf to coincide with the rest of the secondary. And to start off with the first half, with Jordan Gilbert, replacing Halsey, he played great
Yeah.
in his place, in the time being until Halsey came in the game, which, it was step for step. Once
Man,
Halsey came in the game, I mean, it was no drop step. I mean, it
Hal-
was no misstep. Everything was pretty good. So,
Halsey came in. Halsey came into the game with an immediate impact with that pass
he did.
breakup. I mean,
Yes, he
off the
did.
bat, he came in and did what he had to do. And at the end of the day, once again, our Tigers prevail, y'all, by the final score of 17-10 last night in Clemson, South Carolina. I'm going over the stats, man. Total yards. We had 356 to Clemson's 262. But
Hmm.
here's what amazes this is what amazes me, and a lot of people may not realize this. You have to give us credit. LSU held the number 10, I mean, I'm sorry, the number 4 team in the country to
Hmm.
10 points. I discussed something on the podcast with a guy, and they were like, "Well, what about Ohio State?" Okay, yes, Ohio State held Texas to 7 points, but Ohio State was at home. LSU did this on the road against a top 4 opponent. Speaks volumes. What are your thoughts, my guy?
Oh man, it was unbelievable. I mean, just to see. I mean, like you mentioned earlier in the show, LSU was dominant in time of possession. You know what I'm saying? And on both sides of the ball. And the key side from the offensive side to that was how LSU was often running the ball, which was also key to the time of possession of that. And then when you
Right.
want to do it from that defensive side of things, the defense was making stops
Yes,
on
sir.
Clemson. You know what I'm saying? Was actually stopping them, and on most series that the Clemson Tigers was on, and
Uh-huh.
then give in order to give the ball back to the offense for LSU, but LSU was also just killing back time on the time of possession on the clock, which means, like I said already, that the defense was setting the tone for the offense, to do what they have to do. And LSU was doing in the mix of things while running the offense was running the ball more than than passing it, and that would killed a lot of the clock. That's why LSU prevailed within the time of possession, which I'm trying to look here in that
Let's
summary.
check this out. What about Hal Perkins played? Not at the end of the game to seal
No,
the victory, but overall play. Man, it's like I don't want to jump the gun. It's early, but it's almost like off the bat. What to remind you of? Hal Perkins, what freshman season,
Hal Perkins, Having Perkins of the old, of the old time. I mean, it was Harold.
freshman year, freshman campaign.
Yeah,
Hal
there
Perkins,
you go. And
and I stated, I stated one of the keys to that was you have to let him roam. Clemson, we could not afford to tempt Clemson and let them know which direction Harry was coming from.
right,
And man, he looked at like somebody was shooting him out of a cannon last night.
he sure
Didn't
did.
the kid
He
didn't
sure
miss a
did.
beat. And I
He
just
did.
I just want to again, man, just give a round of applause, man, to just the whole overall team effort. The
Right.
O line, much maligned O line, wasn't much of nothing expected from us last night, and we went in and held our own. And it's up from here, man. Just think about having time for that O line to gel together, and which I stated earlier, the D line is only going to make them better. You know.
It sure is. And I've heard a lot of that,
Excuse me.
in their practice time, in the off season, in the spring. I've heard a lot of that where there were times where the defensive line got the best of the offensive line, and there were
Right.
days where the offensive line got the best of the defensive line. But you heard about other individuals from either line had played better against this person or against that person, as a whole in practices. That's how the offensive line was getting better
Oh
against this
yes.
defensive line. What they were saying about how this defensive line was pretty much, excuse me, manhandling um, the offensive line at times, where
Uh-huh.
the offensive line bounces back and persevered against the defensive line. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I mean, they were made for it, man, and that was a reason why Brian Kelly, implemented the way how he played the offensive line, where he switched up a couple of guys in the lineup last night. He pretty much predicted that it was going to be 8 linemen, interchanging within the offensive line, getting playing snaps, and I've seen some of that happen. You know, I think they had Curry. I seen not Curious Kern, but Eccles and
Yeah.
Mabenga was in there. I've seen that, and even DJ Chester came in and played some snaps at the
Oh,
time. So
with the
uh,
offense, I'm sorry, with the offensive line shuffling in and shuffling out last night, that was definitely a new wrinkle, man. Had me
it
kind of
was
excited. What are your thoughts about that moving forward?
well. I think moving forward, I think I actually like it when you really think about it, because these guys that who haven't started or haven't gotten much experience,
Right.
um, they're gaining their experience now. And then it was against
Yeah.
great
Clemson.
talent
Against
and a
Clemson
great
on the
team against
road.
Clemson.
Yeah, on the
So it
road.
wasn't
So
against
yeah.
some other lower level team here. You know what I'm saying? So I like that what Brian Kelly is doing with that.
Yes,
I
sir.
kind of was had that in I kind of had that in question at first. I'm not gonna lie, I did, but I just sat back and I'm just watching, see how it's go all come up, and everything was great. I would say, like I said, it was only maybe one sack. It was one sack, but that was it. You know what I'm saying? And maybe a
Right.
pressure or two or
Mhm.
three, but I mean nothing beyond that. The offensive line played great. So
Man, I had was a, I'm not gonna say it was a bit of a reach, but I probably got laughed at. But I had Gary Nussmeyer rushing for 21 yards, and without some of those sacks, he would have been close. Or
yes,
should
he
I
would
say,
have.
lost yards? Because when you in college football, it goes against you when you lose yards
Right.
as far as
Sack
rushing
adjusted
wise.
yards. Yeah.
But the fake handoff he kept it for like about 8 or 9 yards, man. I'm looking forward and hoping to see more of that moving forward in the future, man. He, like I said, he doesn't have to be a Michael Vick. He doesn't have to be a Joe Burrow. But I think using his legs down the road will eventually help us out a lot.
Right.
The opportunities will be there when presents itself. I'm sorry, and just don't take the hit. Just learn how to go down. That's
Yes,
all you got to
exactly.
do.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
all you got to do. Just know when to say when, and to when to do and when not to do.
Kenny
In that
Rogers, know when to
situation. So
hold them, know when to fold them.
yeah,
you know,
exactly. So
right, right.
so you just got to know when that situation arises. You just got to know when to make that move and when not to make that move. So
He
it's as simple as that.
he didn't. Garrett didn't get his 21 yards rushing as I predicted. I predicted 305 anywhere from from 310 and 305 passing. He didn't get that, but he was a little closer to passing yards set wise that I thought in for his rushing.
Yeah, same
So
for me too.
he passed for over 230 yards in the touchdown. I predicted 2 touchdowns. He threw one. Actually, he threw two, like I predicted,
Right, right.
but you had one taken away from us. What are your thoughts
Yes,
on Garrett's play last night?
I mean, Garrett. I mean, maintained. I thought he still maintained and persevered. Through it all. With the offense. Like I said, despite the sloppiness, that was implemented. What I'm saying, but he maintained the team. He maintained the offense. And just being like calm and we got this. We're going to get this together. What I'm saying? So I mean, by his own admission, he even admitted and said that it was sloppy. But he said just it's not nothing that they can't fix or do. I mean, it could be fixed, it could be done. You know what I'm saying? I also predicted that he would throw for 285 yards and two touchdowns. With one of those touchdowns will be to Chris Hilton,
Right.
which he was hardly ever present. You
Right.
know, but I think that was in the midst of the offense being a little bit of sloppy. It seems like there were a lot of miscommunication um, amongst the plays that he was in.
Mm.
And also, that was a play that he was in on where he caught a flare pass to the right and only to have it fumbled where the guy from Clemson stripped it out of his hands before he
Right.
went down as a fumble. So, but
Well.
it's a long season.
Right.
Um, he'll get going and he'll be fine. Just as the whole as the whole offense as a whole, we'll be good.
Listen. Unless someone's been hiding up under a rock and just fell back to earth, it's a no-brainer that Trey Green will be a total mismatch
Oh
in
my
the red
goodness!
zone. Did I call it or what? Did I call
Yeah,
it or what? He caught a
yeah,
touchdown on the opening drive. He would have caught that pass without it being pass interference, which again goes back to it wasn't called. So,
right.
what are your thoughts on Trey Daniels Green play? And I also like what I seen from Bauer Sharp. At the end of the day, that fumble was wishy washy too, but you have to hold on to the ball. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Right. Nonetheless, you got still if your hands on it, you gotta hold on to it. Um, Trey Dez, I thought Trey Dez, with the times that he came in, I thought he played fine. It just maybe sometimes, and I think the plays that they tried to go to him
Hmm.
was executed fine. There was one like in the first series of the game when they went to him, he was
Right.
interfered with, but
Yeah.
the
That's the play I
referees
was talking
haven't called
about.
it.
Very
Right.
opening drive. Opening drive that play occurred and wasn't called.
Right. And I mean, other than that, I thought he was fine, and he's a definite mismatch. No matter who
Right.
you put him against,
Yeah.
he was being put in those situations, to win, to conquer his opponent in front of him.
Right.
And some of the executions of the plays weren't right, and then the
Right.
other plays were that he was interfered with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Right.
but I thought he was fine, and Bauer Sharp as well. I thought it was fine too. But you can pretty much say the same in some aspects with him.
Yeah.
They tried to go to him early because I knew the type of player that he is because I know that's what they're highlighting Trey Dez as well.
Yeah.
So um,
But I was going to contribute to this team a lot this year also,
he
though.
is. That's
He
why they
is.
tried to go to him
And,
early.
and I also picked up on, I like his blocking. I like him his
Right.
blocking. That's another aspect of the game that he brings too. Trey Daniels may not have that over Bauer. Bauer's a good blocker.
Right. Right.
So, but I'm sorry, but as a whole, in case you're just tuning in, this is Tiger Mark with the post game preview following LSU's stunning, well, not stunning to us, but LSU's victory over Clemson 17-10. And just to show people how one sided this game was, other than on the scoreboard, first down, Mr. Mitchell, LSU had 25 first downs to Clemson's 13. Okay. The third down efficiency wasn't that great for either team, but LSU finished 4-11 for the night. Third down efficiency compared to Clemson's 3 for 13. We passed for 246. Clemson passed
Mhm.
for 230. Relatively close. Klubnik had a so-so night, ordering that pick from Mansour. Rushing wise, we gave up 32 yards on the road, hostile environment against Clemson.
That's
The number
awesome.
4 team in the country, 32 yards rushing. And we rushed for 110. Penalty wise, we were penalized 6 for 45 yards. They were penalized 6 times for 57 yards. And
Hmm.
the time of possession, Another wopsider. LSU 37.10 minutes. Clemson's 22.50. What are your
That,
thoughts?
that defense, man. Like I said, that defense, you know, set the tone for the offense. And when the offense, like I said, contributing to the for the time of possession, LSU was running the ball uh,
Right.
immensely, and that would contribute to them holding the clock like they did. They killed the clock as much as they have. They give a little less time to the opposing team to execute their offense. Although the game was still close,
Yeah.
but um, I thought that was awesome when you really look at it at that aspect. When you see the execution by both sides of the ball of how that was handled,
Hmm.
I mean, it was. I thought it was great when you
Yeah.
look at it that way. And of course, you would want more points and things like that to coincide with how the defense was doing. But nonetheless, they scored enough, to coincide with how the game flow
Yeah.
coming from the field was going against Clemson. So
Right.
they did just enough to where it was they prevailed in the end with it. The execution of the offense, enough from it, and the defense just dominated. You know what I'm saying to
Oh,
go with
all
it.
night, all night, all night. We had a pretty good night running wise. Again, hats off to the O line. We saw Caden Durham rush for 17 carries, and he had 74 yards and a touchdown. Pretty decent performance, considering
Hmm.
once again the opponent and being on the road. What are your
Right.
thoughts? What are your thoughts?
I thought the execution of the run game with him in there, I thought it was fine. I thought it was good. I mean, the way I look at it, what I'm saying, whether I would say the Il's offensive line was overly dominant at times or whatever, I would say they were at times. I mean, I don't think they ever actually really played that bad at all. And what
No.
I'm saying is, why I'm bringing that part up like that as the coincide with Caden Durham, because when he ran the ball, I mean, he was breaking tackles, man.
Oh yeah.
Especially with that first running play of the game, where he kept his
Right.
low contact balance. You know what I'm saying, and ran off to the right side for a big gain. I mean, you can't get him down with one guy
No.
on the run. Maybe not even two guys, because he has that ability to break tackles, and he got some swiftness to him. So to go with that speed. So I
I
mean, he's pegged to be, the leading rusher in the SEC this year, and I could definitely see that.
I totally love. I totally love what Juwan Johnson brought to us off the bench. He's a player. He's a team player, man. The guy does everything he's asked to do, and you cannot do anything but root for this young man.
Yes.
Moving
Yeah.
forward, Juwan Johnson, man, the sky's going to be the limit for this guy. And actually, if he played like he played last night, he didn't have a lot of action, but just his elusiveness and his vision,
Hmm.
man, he could jump over Caleb Jackson in the rotation, man. What are your
Right.
thoughts about
Right.
that one?
I
Mm.
agree, and I actually think, to your point, it actually was shown in that aspect. Caleb Jackson only had one carry in the game.
All right.
One touch. Now I don't know how many snaps he played overall besides that one carry. Overall in the game, we had to look that up to see them if we could find that. But
Yeah, one
uh,
carry for 1 yard.
yep, and that was it. I don't know if that was the only snap that he had in the game, but you had Caden Durham, and which basically Caden Durham was really the only running back that
Yeah.
ran in the offense. The other guys were wide receivers, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
or quarterbacks, running backs, in which Juwan is like a running back slash quarterback. Um, Anybody remind you of him in that aspect? I know, although we haven't seen Juwan throw the ball yet, but you know, I bring that up to you as he remind you of how he plays in terms of a guy that we know from back in the day.
What as far as catching the ball out of backfield, running wise, whatever.
Yeah, or even throwing it, even though we
Well,
didn't see Javon throw it yet. But can you remember a guy that was like that? Gonna give you a hint. He's from New Orleans.
no, not right off the bat, man. Not right off the bat. You got me with that one.
Yeah, it's Cordell Stewart.
Okay, Cordell Stewart.
Slash. So
Okay.
it's even though, like I said, I know we haven't seen him quite throw the ball yet, but he has that ability, and he has been practicing, had practice reps as a quarterback on the team this year. So um, we
Yeah.
have to be on the lookout for that as well if need be. Although it probably could be like a double reverse pass, like we seen with Xavier Thomas. Was that Xavier or was that Aaron Anderson?
I think that was Aaron Adams. I know that was Xavier Thomas thought that. You talking about that pass?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Xavier thought that pass.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
with Xavion. You could probably look forward to seeing that happen with Juwan. You know what I'm saying, in that aspect, moving forward this season. So man, to me he's like an X factor. Although you got plenty of people that could be X factors, but the way that they brought him in on certain packages of plays,
Hmm.
he can be that other X factor that teams don't know much about. Well, they may know more of him now that they got a film on him now, but still, they bring him in to be implemented in the offense the way they did. He's a guy that's could be another potential X factor, whether it be from the backfield or in the wide receiver position. Or in the return game if need be. So yeah,
If
just look out for him.
if you blinked last night, you probably didn't notice, but our highly touted freshman running back, Harlan Berry, did enter the game. He got one carry for 1 yard. So moving forward, I expect more out of the running game. I really do. And especially no knock on Louisiana Tech, but the caliber of the next week's opponent, we can get better in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? As far as
Right.
running the ball, running the
Right,
ball
I
wide.
agree. I agree. I really think you're going to see a lot more of that improve what they was trying to implement in the game last night, as far as with the running game and even the passing game. I would say, especially the running game, especially because from how many times the LSU ran the ball as a team. You can see where this offense is trying to emphasize by having a running game going in order to
Yeah.
get the passing game going. When you got the running game going, what else that means to you? What else gets going
Right.
amongst the passing game? It's play action, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
I mean, so I mean, um, we'll be good. We'll be
Yeah.
fine with that. You know what I'm saying? What they're trying to implement in this game last night, um, they definitely will get it going against Louisiana Tech. Like I said, that's all with all no disrespect, but
I
I
tell
feel
you,
that they definitely have it going against them next Saturday night
I,
against Louisiana Tech.
I tell you what, Gary Nussmeyer, once again, he passed. He had uh, 28 for 38, 230
Yeah.
yards. Okay,
Hmm.
6.1 yards per pass at passing average, one touchdown. But one thing he did do, he spread the ball around, man, all over the field.
He did.
You listen to some of these stats, man. Aaron Anderson had 6 catches for 99 yards. Johnson had 5 receptions for 31 yards. Barry and Brown, he had 25. Caden 22. Xavier 19. Bauer Sharp 18. Trey Green 17 with a touchdown. Kyle Parker with 16. And Chris Hilton Jr. with that screen pass in which he fumbled a -1. So overall, I think we had a pretty solid night passing the ball. Was it spectacular? By no means. But at the end of the day, what counts is we have a one in the win column.
1-0, baby.
Moving forward, we have some work to do, yes. But again, We can only get better with practice. And the caliber of the opponent next week, no knock on Louisiana Tech again, can help us improve in that area. You know. So, but I want to jump off of LSU for 1 second about a topic that kind of concerning to me when I heard about it. What are your thoughts? And we're not gonna speak on it long, but I was like couldn't stomach it when I heard it. I couldn't believe it. What were your thoughts on Big Ten team Northwestern University hosting? I mean, playing Tulane yesterday in New Orleans
Mm-hmm.
and denying Tulane the rights to wear white jerseys in remembrance of 2005 national disaster Hurricane Katrina. That's downright sickening, man. And at the end of the day, I'm not mad or upset about it, but Tulane 23, Northwestern 3, it pretty much speaks for itself, right?
Right.
What are your thoughts, though, by them denying that, man? What are
I
you?
would say it was, and the coach said this in the post game press conference as well, that it was disrespectful. It was very disrespectful. They politely asked to do it, and Northwestern, pretty much in a disrespectful way, denied them. But they
Right,
didn't, and the disrespect was, I would say, from it as just as him and the rest of others there at Tulane would look at it this way, is that um, they didn't care about what the purpose was, or what it was for. They didn't care
right,
to look at it that way. That's why, to me, just as for them as well, it was so disrespectful
right,
to do that. You know what I'm saying? That to have them honor that. And you know what? It showed up in the score box with the way how everything prevailed with Tulane against Northwestern with the game yesterday. And hey, applaud to Tulane, man. They did their thing. They showed it rather than talking about it. Hey, beat them 23-3.
right. Okay, well, this is the segment where I want to touch on not just league play around the nation. I want to start off about some of these scores as far as SEC yesterday, man, with Mississippi State took care of business against Southern Miss. What were your thoughts if you got a chance to see that?
Well, I haven't seen much of it,
Right.
but Auburn, uh,
You mean
they did
Mississippi
that.
State? Mississippi State?
I mean Mississippi State. I apologize for that. Yeah,
That's okay. That's
um,
okay.
yeah, they did their thing. I haven't checked much of them out in regards to how they prevailed, but they did their thing. I'll give them that. Um, what about Alabama and Florida State?
Wow. Hey, listen, I'm not least bit surprised because on the other day when we did our first show, I predicted Florida State, and it's not because I'm a hater or whatever. It's just like you gotta realize this: Ty Simpson on the road, hostile environment, first time starter. Man, that's tough on anybody.
Right.
Garrett Nussmeier is a seasoned veteran, and he had his struggles last night. So I don't know what Alabama team or fans was expecting offensive wise, but it didn't turn out how they expected. They
Right.
were also talking about Ryan Williams adding weight. Okay, now that the weight is on, I saw a significant difference to me in his speed yesterday. You may not have noticed, but he don't look. He's still fast as hell, but he looks a little tad bit slower. And the drops
Hmm.
yesterday he had, that's uncharacteristic of him. So
Right. It is.
it wasn't shocking to me or mind blowing to me because I predicted that.
Hmm.
And it is what it is, man. But at the end of the day, Florida State did what they had to do. I'm happy for them. And hey, end of the day, all good things come to an end, man. You know,
Exactly.
I'm a I'm a
Exactly.
I'm a big Dallas Cowboys fan, man, and one day I just had to sit down and realize, man, things will just never be the same. What's meant is meant, and what's not is not. And Dallas just isn't that good anymore.
Right.
And I'm not saying Alabama is not good, but the talent level, along with the coaching, is just not there anymore. You know,
It isn't, and that's why you really they have to look at it. Just as we already have that, we already looking at that realization of that. Um, this is not a team of like Nick Saban's, you know, mantra, of a team, that they trying to still implement, even with this is a different coach in Kalen DeBoer, who's currently
right?
coaching the team right now. They trying to still implement that culture of Coach Saban, but Kalen DeBoer is not Nick Saban. So how
Right.
can you implement that, or see he can have this team play like a Nick Saban's team of the past when he's not of Nick Saban's stature. So I mean, the fans need to believe that. I mean, hey, times are changing, man, and it's not the same, and they have to accept that.
Well, hopefully they will. But I, for one, myself, I'm happy that they lost because you have a lot of Alabama fans that talk a lot of smack, and now that they're not as good as good as they once were, you're not going to hear much about them, and you still have some fans that just cannot face the facts. But
Right.
anyway, so as far as the SEC, I see 21 ranked Ole Miss blasted Georgia State
Hmm.
by the final score of 63-7 with former LSU Tiger quarterback, former UTSA quarterback, former Auburn quarterback, former Tulane quarterback, TJ Finley at the helm on yesterday. What are your thoughts?
Right. I'm trying to look to see if he actually started in that game. Did you find out anything that he's actually started? I think it might have was somebody else.
For
Although TJ,
stats wise, player stats. I don't even think he may have gotten in the game yesterday.
yeah, that's why I said I
I
think it
was
was
just
another.
I was just bringing up the fact that all those times TJ has transferred, man, and
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
he didn't even play yesterday. It was Cameron Brown and started at quarterback for him yesterday, so he didn't even get a chance to play on yesterday. You know, but that was a big win. As Ole Miss moves to 1-0 on the season, you know.
Simmons, that quarterback. I mentioned to you last year
Mm.
about looking out for him. And although it was against Georgia State, I mean, but
Yeah,
even prior,
the left-handed quarterback, pretty good.
yeah,
Right,
yeah. I
right,
said this guy has talent. He has a strong arm, and he has legs that that he can run and things like that. So he's someone that we need to definitely look out for. We go to
right.
Ole Miss this year, so um,
Yeah.
but
Well,
we definitely be ready.
run down some more scores, man. Just quick and simple. Vanderbilt beat Charleston Southern by the final score of 45-3. It was number
Hmm.
19 ranked Texas A&M. This game was kind of close at first, but they ended up winning by the final score of 42-24 over the University of Texas San Antonio. Of course, people a lot of people are high on DJ Lagway and the Florida Gators as they blasted LIU by the final score of 55-0. And I'm hearing a lot of smack talk out of Soonerville. Oklahoma Sooners defeats Illinois State Redbirds by the final score of 35-3, man.
Right.
So and you also have some SEC teams in action today, as you have South Carolina currently leading Virginia Tech by the score of 10-5 in the
10
second
to
quarter.
5.
13th ranked South Carolina is up 10-5 on Virginia Tech in the Aflac College Football Kickoff Classic. And by the way, it's on ESPN if y'all want to tune in. And Lenore Sellers, who's thought to be a Heisman Trophy candidate, starting today. So I have Virginia Tech in the upset, man. So some may sound
I agree.
crazy. Some may sound crazy, but that's my that's what I'm pick. That's what I'm going with. So what are your thoughts on that one? That's my pick, and I'm sticking with it.
Well, I'm picking with it as an upset as well. I mean, that Virginia Tech upsets South Carolina in this game, and the game is still close. It's only 10 to 5, late
Right.
first half. Lenore Sellers only 7 of 13 for 89 yards currently right now.
Yeah.
Um,
A
their
lot of
running back, huh?
a lot of people are high. He's high on a lot of people Heisman list this year. I'm sorry, and but Kyron Drones, Virginia Tech quarterback, I think he's a special athlete too. You know, that's one of the reasons why I picked Virginia Tech to win. I think Kyron Jones is going to lead Virginia Tech to the victory, but we shall see. And we have another game tonight that will close out. Well, it won't close it out, but it'll close out a busy weekend of college football because
Right.
we do have North Carolina and I believe TCU tomorrow night. But the final game of on the weekend is tonight between Notre Dame Fighting Irish and who is it? Miami
The
Hurricane.
Miami Hurricanes.
Like my mom would say, the Miami Hurricanes. So I like Mr. Carson Beck. I like what Carson Beck was able to do at Georgia. If you give Carson some time, he will pick you apart. But that's the key. Will Carson Beck have time? Because I've stated this before. Mr. Marcus Freeman loves to send the blitz.
That Notre Dame defense, yeah.
He loves to send the blitz. Kind of
With
remind me of. I don't mean to jump off of it, but I gotta say this before I forget. Last night, Blake Baker and that defense, the pressure was relentless. Blake Baker said, "If you're gonna beat me, you're gonna have to beat my pressure and deny us."
right.
So if if Miami have any shot, they have to be prepared for Marcus Freeman and that Notre Dame blitz. What are your thoughts?
They do. Which is why I picked Notre Dame to actually win this game. Now I was teetering on both teams. I actually was maybe more leaning to Miami at first, but I thought it through with Notre Dame's running game to
Uh-huh.
coincide with their defense will be enough to to prevail with a victory against Miami. Yes, I am aware the game is in Miami, and that can change. You know what I'm
Hard Rock
saying? On the
Cafe.
field.
Hard Rock
So
Cafe. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean that I didn't thought that through closely, but I'm going to still stick to it to my pick that I
Right.
picked Notre Dame to win this game due to Marcus Freeman's defense to coincide with the running game for Notre Dame to prevail with a victory against Miami.
Man, before we close it out, again, if you're a fan of this year's LSU football team, or a past fan or future fan, right now is the time to get on board with this team right here. And once again, I'm
It's
not jumping
time,
the gun.
y'all.
I'm not jumping the gun because of what I saw last night, but I'm jumping at the opportunity to speak on because what we have as a team and what Brian Kelly is building there future wise. I know we had to go out into the portal and get some key additions, but some of those stars that shined last night wasn't all necessary from the transfer portal. Moving forward, this team can and I believe will get better offensively and defensively.
Right.
But that's a scary thought, thinking about moving forward and that defense really getting time to know one another. What are your thoughts?
To your point, um, did you know about this? I didn't really know about it. I just saw it in the stat sheet here on the screen. Did you know DJ Pickett played last night?
Didn't notice, and that's my guy.
Yep.
I missed that 6'5" frame out there. No, he got by me with that one. No, I didn't notice that.
Yep, he had two tackles, both of them solo. I had no
Wow.
idea he played. You know
Wow.
what I'm saying? So yep,
So did he
it
change
was
his
it was
number? Did he change his number? He's
I,
not
I
number
think
three?
it's yeah, it's still number three.
Oh, okay.
It's still number three. He didn't change it. It was still number three. So yeah, I didn't know that. And to coincide with that, just to that point, bro, we are so talented on offensive and defensive side of the ball, and with the
Scary.
incoming talent that we're coming, I mean, we're really building something like you said, where it could be
Right.
something where it's not for just one year, one time. We're
Right.
trying to build it forward where it could be consistently better and moving constantly moving forward all the way into the future.
Right.
With this is what Brian Kelly is doing.
I
With the talent that he has currently now and currently have coming in
yeah. I myself
2026 and beyond.
I spoke on this yesterday. I myself I have and always have had a lot of trust in Brian Kelly, where there have been others that knocks him, calling for his head or whatever. But it takes
Hmm.
time. It takes time to build a program, especially
It
in the
does.
SEC. And
Yeah.
nothing against Ed Orgeron, but man, that locker room and that program was left in shambles when he left there. Man, the kids were doing whatever they wanted to do, and it had just got out of hand.
It
So
did.
now that things are finally getting back to normal, you're going to see a difference. And I'm not throwing anything in anybody's face, but the other night I spoke confidently upon this game because I just knew what was going to happen. It was never any doubt in my mind LSU would lose. I called a close game, and I got a close game.
Hmm.
And the only reason I believe that game was close was because we were on the road. And you take out some of the calls by the officials, and it wouldn't have been close like it was. And
Right. Exactly.
just imagine last night's game being a home game, man. Which in
Oh,
return, Clemson comes to us in 2026. But just
in
think the
2026.
performance last night on the level they played last night. You get this week in and week out, especially in Tiger Stadium. I don't give a damn who's coming there. They're in trouble with their performance last night behind that damn crowd in Tiger Stadium. You can't make me believe any other way that it can't turn out and won't turn out. LSU dominate.
Exactly. And I mean, um, is everybody the LSU has to play moving forward, and even maybe outside of that when they get to the playoffs. Yes, I'm claiming that already right now.
Mhm.
They're going to make it.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I picked them as
you
a
know,
12-team playoff contender too, without a
right,
doubt. Without a doubt.
right,
Yeah, I'm
and
telling you.
that LSU with that performance last night put all other teams that they have remaining and outside of them on notice. On notice with
Yeah.
that performance, which it was with that kind of domination. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? From how LSU was dominating the time of possession, running the ball and passing the ball when need be, to coincide with how the defense was making ultimate stops on the defensive side against Clemson with the talent that they have on offense. Man, it's why not would you want to have that kind of type of confidence within yourself for your team that how they're going to prevail through the rest of this season. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to knock anybody else, but I'm saying if
Yeah.
LSU remains consistent with the way how they played, like they played last night throughout the season, oh man, everybody's on notice. Everybody's on notice, my man.
Well, you
So
have you have well, should I say we have Louisiana Tech Bulldogs coming in this Saturday, 6:30 p.m. game
mhm.
to Tiger Stadium. I'll be in the press box doing a little media coverage with the Boot Sports. Thanks to the guys over there.
All right.
What are your thoughts on Louisiana Tech coming here, and what do you see?
Well,
As far as Louisiana Tech coming in and posing a threat or any kind of challenges against us, do you see that happening? Now, this is football. Anything can happen. Louisiana Tech was a winner, I know, yesterday.
yeah, they
Um,
played Southeastern
yeah,
out of Hammond, Southeastern Lions,
yeah,
and they beat
that's a
them.
future. That's a future opponent of ours also as well this season. So not
Yeah,
to look
they
not to look past anybody, man, but this shouldn't be a ball game either, you know. And I look this game, I really look to establish your run. And with that being said, once that run is established, man, Nussmeier, I'm expecting Nussmeier to play at least a half. There's no excuse with this team that we're building and this team's potential for Nussmeier to be in that game past halftime. You know,
now. I mean, to your point, um, I know it was Southeastern, but look as I'm looking at the stats here. Um, like I said, I know it was against two local opponents. You know, Louisiana Tech out of Ruston, Louisiana, and Southeastern Louisiana, Southeastern
we beat them
um,
24-0, but that's
out of
Southeastern.
Hammond. So
Yeah,
they beat them out. They beat them 24-0.
right.
But I'm looking at the stats here from the quarterback position. Trey Kukuk.
Yeah,
He was 14 of 19 for 130 and a touchdown. And the
right,
running game, Clay Deverin was only he ran the ball 6 carries, 61 yards, and a touchdown. And the leading receiver was Eli Finley. He had caught four catches for 59 yards.
right,
So um, not much to go off there. But what I
right,
was trying to say amongst this, from this game,
right.
like I said, yes, I know it was two local opponents, but Louisiana Tech shuts them out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And yeah, I know the game was in Ruston, but they shut them out. But
right. We're
I mean,
moving.
we can see how the Louisiana Tech defense can play, but I don't expect a domination like they've done against Southeastern against LSU. You know what I'm saying? I expect a pure dominated game by the LSU Tigers here.
Yeah,
Um,
shouldn't be. It shouldn't be any doubts about this one, man. Like I said, I'm Nussmeier should play a half or two, man, and get on the hell on up out of there and let some of those freshman players and sophomore players get some playing time, man.
right.
Because when you think about it, at the end of the day, we're talking about Louisiana Tech, but down the road looms who? Florida Gators, correct?
Florida Gators, yeah.
Okay,
Um,
so how many
can I?
people actually gave us a chance? I'm sorry, gave us a chance to possibly be 3-0 when we face the Florida Gators. How many?
Nobody,
Right,
nobody.
right.
And there were some guys last night in last night's game was saying that nothing else is easy. With who had LSU has left. Um,
Yeah,
Next on the schedule after Louisiana Tech, they have
we
Florida
we
and
do
so
have
forth and all
we
that, and
have
then you got Ole
we have
Miss,
one of the toughest.
Alabama. But
Yeah, we have one of the toughest schedules in the country, man. You know,
right,
and
right,
that was key, Kenny, because even had LSU lost last night, they played. they had a good performance, even if they had lost. And
Hmm.
with the schedule and some of these highly ranked SEC teams, and us having an SEC slate would have made it a little better and easier for us to make the playoff team 12 despite the loss. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
moving forward, I know Florida is down the road, man. And end of the day, LSU is 1-0. As LSU Tigers go into the other Death Valley and pretty much handles up on Clemson by the final score of 17-10, man. I thank you to all my subscribers, to all our fans, man. If you haven't liked, hit the like button, comment, like, subscribe, share my channel. I'm Tiger Mark with co-host Kenneth Mitchell. It's been fun, man. I thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll be back with the preview of Louisiana Tech versus LSU in a few days. So until then, y'all already know what time it is. Go
Really?
damn Tigers.
Tight.
All right, my man. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right.
All right.